leaf shapes in place. Now I want to just make a little shape for the soil, make a shape for the pot, and I might stylize the pot a little bit. So let's see, I'm gonna just to further simplify, I'm gonna make a new layer that's underneath all the shapes to be my plant, or to be my pot shape. Well, actually, to be my soil shape. And I'm going to use the pen tool for that again. I might even use the freeform tool and let it be kind of chunky, kind of funky, and not worry about it. I could also use selection tools, the lasso tool, and fill, right? I could make a selection and fill. So that's also a way to build out your image if you feel confident using that. And since we're not in our monochromatic space anymore with the leaves, I'm gonna just grab kind of a brown color. Maybe I'll use a color close to what is in the photo. And I'm just gonna do like a little lumpy soil shape and connect it around. I know that I'm gonna build the pot on top of it, so I'm not too worried about it going over the pot shape. So there's my soil. And then and maybe I'll title that to keep track of that. And then my pot, so I'm going to make a layer on top of that, which is my pot layer. And let me reduce the opacity of my soil so I can see my pot shape, because I do want to get the perspective of that line. And sometimes I like to do, when something goes in front of and behind, I like to maybe break it up into a couple of layers, right? So for this one, yeah, I'll use my pen tool again. And I will make the pot. Let me get on my pot layer. Oops, and I forgot to choose my, what do you call it, my color. But I'll go back and do that. So it's a brown pot right now, which will be confusing with the soil. And then I'm also going to lower the opacity of this because I want to go around and get the front of the pot. So I'm kind of like anywhere where the pot is where I want to make the line kind of match as it goes behind the soil there. Okay, so let's check this out, and I might need to make some adjustments, but let me select this first and give it a color. Let's see, I'll give it this nice peach color that I just have on hand, and I can always change that later. Something to warm to contrast. I'm going to bring my opacity up. I'll bring the opacity up on the soil too, so we can see. I mean, this is just like building an image in Illustrator if you're used to that. Looks pretty good. I see where maybe my soil could be brought down a little bit, so I'm going to grab my soil layer, the direct selection arrow, and just bring this down. And then the other thing I notice, if I turn off my plant, yeah, I got a couple of holes here where things don't match up exactly. That's all right. You can just make little adjustments. And we could even, paint little adjustments that would make it easy. So the other thing that I'm missing is I don't have the pot. Sorry, I'm talking while I'm doing. I don't have the pot behind the soil. So I want to adjust that by making another layer. I'll turn on my reference again. I'm going to make a layer that's underneath the soil this time. I'm going to work with this color. I'm going to grab my pen tool, and then I'm just going to try to continue this archway. Oops, this arch of the pot going behind. And it can be like a really rough shape because you don't see it behind the soil, right? But now we've got something funky there, but otherwise we have a pot with some soil in it and this cool shaped cactus. So that's just like blocking in the shapes of the object that we want, right? Now is the fun part where we get to bring the brushes in for texture, for value. Now I'll pause to show that in the next video.